You really ought to know that a simple spreadsheet program changed the course of genetic research. Imagine spending years mapping human genes, only to have your data destroyed by an overzealous piece of software. In 2020, scientists had to rename 27 human genes because Microsoft Excel kept correcting their names into dates. Stick around to find out how a spreadsheet glitch became a global headache, what changes were made to prevent future chaos, and why this story is more hilarious and cautionary than you might expect. If you've ever used Excel, you know how it loves to help. Type 1 to 5 into a cell, it auto-formats it into a date. Write March 4th when you mean March 4th, it will convert it into a number. For most of us, these little corrections are mildly annoying, but for geneticists, they were a disaster waiting to happen. Human genes often have abbreviations like MARCH1 and SEPT2. Those names aren't random. They stand for membrane-associated ring CH type finger 1 and septin 2. When scientists tracked gene expression using Excel, the program thought March 1 meant 1 March, and SEPT2 was 2 September. Without warning, Excel turned gene symbols into dates. The gene names disappeared, replaced by months. And because research data often passes through multiple hands, those errors spread like a virus through scientific literature. The problem wasn't new. Back in 2004, a group of researchers noticed that some gene names were disappearing from published datasets. A 2016 study took a closer look and confirmed that Excel's auto-formatting was corrupting genetic data on a massive scale. The researchers surveyed over 11,000 articles and found that roughly 1/5 contained these kinds of errors. That's right, nearly 20% of genetic studies had data fields with genes accidentally renamed by Excel. Imagine if 20% of your grocery list got converted into dates. You'd show up at the supermarket with 1 January and 15 March in your cart instead of apples and bananas. Not very helpful for dinner plans, and certainly catastrophic in a laboratory. Why didn't scientists just turn off the auto-formatting? Unfortunately, Excel doesn't make it easy. Unless you know the specific steps to disable these features or use specialized import methods, the program automatically interprets anything that looks like a date as a date. Many researchers didn't realize what was happening until it was too late. They imported their data, did their analyses, and published the results, all while Excel quietly swapped out gene names for calendar references. Some labs tried using workarounds like adding an apostrophe before the gene name so Excel would treat it as text. But when data is shared between institutions, formatting can be lost, and the problem returns. It's like trying to hold back a flood with duct tape. Things came to a head in 2020 when the Hugo Gene Nomenclature Committee decided enough was enough. This international body assigns official names and symbols to human genes. Recognizing that Excel errors were compromising research, they took the unprecedented step of renaming genes to avoid clashes with date formatting. Over the course of the year, 27 gene symbols were changed. For example, March 1 became March F1, where the F stands for finger. SEPT1 turned into SEPT in 1. SEPT2, SEPT3, and others followed suit. It was like a giant group of celebrities changing their stage names to avoid being mistaken for calendar entries. Beyoncé might become Beyoncé Fowles just to keep Excel from turning her into One Bay. Okay, maybe not, but you get the idea. Why 27 genes? These were the ones most prone to date conversion. Genes beginning with March, Sept, and Dec were particularly vulnerable. Excel recognized March as March, Sept as September, and Dec as December. The HGNC worked with researchers to identify which genes were most problematic. They didn't just change names unilaterally. They consulted with the scientific community, communicated with labs that were affected, and updated databases across the world. Imagine being in the meeting where scientists debated whether March 1 should become Marcha 1 or March F1. It probably felt like a scene from a naming committee for a new baby, except the baby's name might crash a global research infrastructure if they got it wrong. Before we go deeper, let's look at 5 astonishing facts about this Excel saga. You won't believe number 4. Excel errors were widespread. A study of over 11,000 genetic papers found that roughly 20% contained gene names that had been auto-converted to dates. That's like writing a book and discovering your word processor spontaneously changed 1 out of every 5 names. Gene renaming didn't solve everything. Some scientists still used older versions of software or custom pipelines that didn't account for the changes. In other words, Excel might stop converting March 1 to 1 March, but an older macro might still do so. The war isn't over, it's an ongoing arms race. The new names are carefully chosen. The HGNC avoids using gene symbols that resemble common dates. For example, they swapped out the word sept for septin. They also made sure the new names still reflect the gene's function or location. Scientists can still understand what the gene does without worrying about data corruption. This isn't Excel's only snafu. Excel has auto-formatted other scientific data too. Numbers starting with zeros get truncated, leaving leading zeros off of zip codes or sample IDs. Some labs discovered entire columns missing because Excel misinterpreted data as formulas. It's like Excel thinks it's smarter than everyone, an uninvited AI assistant from 2003. Gene names can be quirky. Before Excel issues, scientists already faced challenges with gene names. There's a gene called Sonic Hedgehog, named after the video game character. Others include Pokemon and CHEK2. The lesson? Geneticists have a sense of humor, but they need to make sure their jokes don't break their tools. Renaming genes isn't as simple as changing a label on a jar. Gene symbols are integrated into thousands of databases, research tools, and diagnostic tests. Changing them requires updating reference genomes, re-annotating research papers, and ensuring that anyone using older data knows the new names. HGNC maintains a record of old symbols so researchers can cross-reference. They also encourage journals and researchers to refer to genes by both their current and former names for some time, helping ease the transition. It's akin to a celebrity who used to be known by one name, think Prince and his symbol phase, and then changed his name back. We still know who he is because media outlets keep reminding us. Similarly, HGNC and scientific journals provide formerly known as annotations to keep everyone on the same page. Beyond renaming, the HGNC issued guidelines advising scientists to take data handling seriously. They suggested using specialized software designed for biological data instead of general office software. They recommended storing data in plain text formats like CSV and opening them with programs that respect text formatting by default. Excel can be configured to import text without auto-formatting, but you have to know how. The guidelines include instructions for disabling auto-formatting and for using alternative software. It's like telling people to stop using butter knives to tighten screws when they could use an actual screwdriver. Yes, you can get the job done, but you might end up causing damage. The gene renaming story also underscores a broader issue: the hidden pitfalls of digital tools in scientific research. Scientists often rely on software that was never designed for complex data analysis. Programs like Excel are fantastic for accountants, teachers, and anyone who needs to tally numbers. But for geneticists dealing with tens of thousands of data points, one misinterpreted string can cascade into faulty conclusions, wasted time, and wasted funding. It highlights the importance of using specialized tools, or at the very least, understanding how general tools may warp your data. There's a humorous side to all this. Some researchers joked that gene names should now come with a "do not use an Excel" label, like clothing tags that say "dry clean only." Imagine a scientist telling a student, "Here's a gene list. Whatever you do, don't put it in Excel." Meanwhile, Microsoft responded by noting that Excel is behaving exactly as designed. It interprets anything resembling a date as a date. It's not a bug, it's a feature. A Microsoft spokesperson even suggested using Excel's import text feature to control formatting. So the onus partly falls on scientists to adapt their tools or find better ones. That didn't stop people from making memes of gene names morphing into calendar invites. Somewhere in a lab, someone has a whiteboard that reads, "Friend, do not open gene files with Excel. This is not a joke. We cannot keep renaming genes." From a broader perspective, the gene renaming incident is a reminder that small design choices in software can have massive consequences. Excel's auto-formatting was intended to make life easier for typical office tasks, not to sabotage genetic research. But because Excel is ubiquitous, used in schools, businesses, and labs, its quirks ripple across fields that the original developers never envisioned. It's a microcosm of how technology shapes our work, often in unexpected ways. As data sets grow larger and more complex, the risk of subtle bugs causing big problems increases. "Oops, my gene turned into a date" is a symptom of a bigger challenge, ensuring that the tools we use are fit for the data we handle. This story also offers hope. Scientists and software developers can work together to fix problems. After the gene renaming announcement, some labs adopted R or Python for data analysis, using packages like tidyverse and pandas that allow explicit control over data types. Others wrote macros to automatically scan for misformatted gene names before they lead to publication errors. Journals began to require authors to check gene symbols carefully. Younger scientists learned to treat Excel with caution, the way one might handle a knife. It's useful, but misuse can lead to cuts. And maybe, just maybe, the story inspired a few computer science students to design a better spreadsheet program for scientists. It's worth mentioning that renaming genes isn't new. The HGNC and other bodies have long renamed genes to correct confusing or offensive names. For instance, in 2017, the gene SPAM1 was changed because it sounded like junk email. Names like FAT1 and TRAP1, which sound like insults or booby traps, have also been reconsidered. Some genes are named after diseases, which can cause distress for families affected by those conditions. So while the Excel problem is unique, the process of renaming genes to avoid confusion is part of a larger tradition of making scientific communication clearer and kinder. Now I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever had a computer program help you by changing your work in a way that ruined everything? Maybe your phone auto-corrected "I'll be right there" to "I'll be Rihanna," and your friend waited at the concert venue for an hour. Or maybe you're a scientist who once lost hours of work to a formatting error. Share your stories in the comments below. Also, what's your favorite quirky gene name? Are you sad to see MARCH1 go, or are you more of a Sonic Hedgehog fan? Let's talk about the lighter side of gene nomenclature. Before we wrap up, here's a final chuckle. Scientists joked that if Excel keeps messing with gene names, they might start naming genes after days of the week just to confuse the software. Oh, you think SEPT1 is one SEP? How about we name one Tuesday bosom just to see what you do with that? It's a reminder that even serious research communities have a sense of humor, especially when facing absurd challenges. In conclusion, the saga of Excel auto-formatting gene names into dates is a tale of unintentional comedy, scientific diligence, and technological pitfalls. A simple software feature intended to help with everyday tasks inadvertently corrupted genetic data across the globe. To fix it, scientists didn't just patch the software. They renamed 27 genes, rewrote guidelines, and rallied the research community to adopt better data practices. The story serves as a cautionary tale for anyone who handles data. Understand your tools, back up your work, and never underestimate the power of a little autocorrect to cause big problems. It also shows the resilience of scientists who, when confronted with an unexpected obstacle, got creative and had a laugh along the way. Thanks so much for watching. Your support means the world. If you could drop a like and subscribe, that would really help the channel. Have an incredible day.